video with Journaling with Trina, and we are continuing to take our journeys with our particular journey journal. Oh, that was a mouthful. Our journey journal. So, we have been walking through quite a few journeys together. So, this week we are going to be talking about the Overcoming Journal journey. And see, I think I messed that up. So let me try that again. The Overcoming Journey Journal. That's a tongue twister. So we are going to be talking about conquering our fears. Now, I am going to be totally transparent with you. For those who are very courageous and brave, definitely my hat goes off to you. Maybe you can drop a comment below to kind of tell us how you've overcome your fears. So this week we're going to be talking about overcoming our fears. So again, this journey, again, remember, we can choose our own journey. Everything thought starts with a thought. And when we entertain that thought, we can choose whether that thought is going to be positive. We can choose if that thought is going to be negative, or we can choose if we're going to allow fear to overtake us. Now, we all know that fear is treading upon the unknown. So, for example, if I know that there is a chair and I'm going to sit on it and that chair is sturdy, then I'm not going to be afraid to sit, right? I'm going to trust that chair. I'm going to sit in it and I'm going to believe that it's going to hold me up. But what if we don't see it? What if we have no clue on our next steps in life? Because again, we all have a purpose, we all have a journey, we are here on this planet Earth for a reason. And I'll say this, and I think I said this in other videos, that because of COVID-19, some of us do have some extra time on our hands, and people are getting very creative. I mean, really creative, starting their own businesses, just having the time to actually think and process to make products and to be able to serve people. So now was a good time to be able to just step out of the box and get rid of that fear. Now, how do we do that? So let me back up just a little bit. This is a journaling for beginners. So we're still having writing prompts. So throughout the next few series, we're going to be having some what we call sentence starters. For those who have been journaling for a long time, sometimes you can get that piece of paper and that pen. You can just start writing, and freelancing is what we call it, and you can just kind of flow with it. But for others, excuse me, for other people, it may take some sentence starters to get started. So, enough of that talking. Let's get down to business. So, overcoming our fears. So, I still have my notes here. So, I'm definitely going to be referring back to them because I don't want to miss anything. So, this week, again, it's our challenge to challenge ourselves to think about what are we fearful of. If you don't have any fears, then maybe this particular YouTube video is not for you. But if you do, then hang in with us and we're going to definitely give you some tools to help you. So, number one, it's almost kind of like a homework assignment. Um, Write about your top 5 fears and how long you've had them. So, this is going to be a two-parter. The first part is write about your top 5 fears and how long you've had them. Here's the second part. What effect do they have on your daily life? What effect do they have on your daily life? Number 2, define your biggest fear and develop a simple plan of action to address your fear. Let me say that again. A simple plan of action. And I can kind of go through and give us some examples, but I really want us to look at this last and final one because this is something that I'm still struggling with. And I'm going to give you a very good example on this one. So let's recap. Number 1, write about your top 5 fears and how long you've had them. What effect do they have on your daily life? Okay, that's our number one topic that we're going to have as far as our writing prompt. So the first writing prompt was write about your top 5 fears, how long have you had them, and what effect do they have on our daily life. Number 2, define our biggest fear. So out of the list of 5, just pick one. Pick one fear. Develop a simple plan of action to address your fear. And then last but not least, have you ever missed an opportunity because of fear? If so, write about it and what should you have done differently. So I know that is extremely a lot. So you can kind of pick and choose which one you want to work through this week. But I just want to share a really personal experience I had with the last one. I had an opportunity, and it was a really good opportunity, and I missed it because of fear. And here's what I learned about myself, because there's always something we can learn about ourselves. What I learned about myself is that I am an extreme planner. I have to have a plan. I have to have a system. It has to have steps, and it have to be logical, because if it's not logical, then I'm going to question it. And so that is something that I'm still trying to work through. When someone just said, "Hey, Trina, we want you to appear on," and it was a really reputable platform, and I just kind of shrunk back, like, I don't, why are they choosing me? Like, oh my God. And I just started freaking out, and I started planning things, and they were asking me just to be myself, be natural. And for some reason, I could not get past that. So that is one of the fears that I am working on. I'm being totally transparent because I really want us to think about, that one thing that's holding us back. Again, if you are not that type of person, then definitely, if I had a hat on, I would take it off to you, and please share the secret recipe. What is the antidote of being fearless? Now, we know that we're supposed to trust in God, and I don't want to get spiritual, but of course, we do want to set that foundation, to make sure that we have a strong foundation of faith. Once we have that strong foundation of faith, that's really the building blocks on how we need to move forward, which is extremely important to have that building block of faith. Because what happens is when that fear starts to creep in, we know what to do to dispel that fear, whether we connect with somebody positive. We probably will look at some YouTube videos on how people overcame their challenges. We may listen to some podcasts. So again, those of us who are of the faith, we kind of know exactly how to transcend, and whether that means to go to another person for help, to go to a self-help book. So I want us to really, first of all, make sure our foundation is solid. And once we do that, and we know exactly the direction where we want to go, and when that fear creeps in, we can just kind of take a deep breath, step back, and just really process, what is it? What's holding me back? Most of the time, it's ourselves. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Sometimes we hold ourselves back. And so if we do not have those 5 things that are challenging us, or that's been holding us back, if we can just think about that one thing. And then once we think about that one thing, create a plan of action. So for example, that may mean, okay, if I'm fearful, I'm going to just start looking at some videos. I'm going to connect with people who have already arrived to where I want to be. And that's extremely important, to surround ourselves with people who have been there. I think it's very important to have mentors, people that have more experience than us, so that way they can guide us and share with us some of the things that they've done on their journey. So thank you for your time. I know this was an extra long video, and I do apologize for that, but I want us to really challenge ourselves to define our biggest fear and develop a plan of action. That could mean connecting with some positive people this week, listening to some podcasts, watching some self confidence YouTube videos, connecting with a mentor, and just really taking those steps. Because it is a step by step process to conquering our fears. We didn't get like this overnight. It's not going to change overnight, but every little bit helps. Every action step will get us closer to our goal. So remember, we can choose our own journey, and our journey this week is overcoming our fears. Thank you very much. If you do like this video, please click the like button. And if you like it enough to subscribe, please do that as well. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Thank you so much and have a great week.